Hi, my name is Viola Baskerville. I was born in Richmond, Virginia, raised here. I started school, Richmond Public Schools, graduated from Richmond Public Schools, went to the College of William and Mary, graduated from there, and went to law school at the University of Iowa. And I served on Richmond City Council for about 4 years. Then I served in the Virginia General Assembly for 8 years, representing Richmond and a part of the surrounding counties. After being in the General Assembly for about 8 years, I was then asked by the governor to serve in his cabinet as Secretary of Administration. I retired from public life and then started working with the Girl Scouts of Virginia as the Chief Executive Officer, making sure that we instill the next generation of leadership in girls. That's very important. And was appointed by the governor 4 years ago to the Virginia Outdoors Foundation. And as a trustee on that board, we have moved toward making sure that we lift up Virginia historic places, that we preserve Virginia historic places, and that we make sure there's equity and justice in so doing. One of the projects that has been sort of a keystone in making sure these public spaces are lifted up is to preserve historic Evergreen Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. It became really a personal passion as well as a professional passion because I have grandparents who are buried in Evergreen Cemetery. My grandmother, this is a picture of her when she was a young bride in 1898, and her groom, my grandfather, Charles Carey Braxton, Ellen Harriet Johnson Braxton. And they are two of my ancestors that are buried in Evergreen Cemetery in the city of Richmond. I mentioned a little bit previously about my grandparents being a deacon and deaconess in the church, Olivet Baptist Church in Richmond, Virginia. They were founding members of that church. That church was headed by J. Andrew Bowler, who was a very important, influential, not only educator, but minister in Richmond, Virginia. And part of the very important items that we get in looking at historic Evergreen Cemetery is that they're not only the famous people that are buried there, but there were common everyday people buried in Evergreen Cemetery who made up the society. They were freedom's first generation. They were the Black labor movement individuals. They were the deacon and the deaconess. They were some of the first families of Richmond. And one of the pieces that you see is not only the diversity, economic diversity and social diversity, but you see the importance of individuals after the Civil War coming together, struggling to survive, persistent, being resistant to things that are going on at the time, whether that is Jim Crow, whether that is segregation, forming benevolent societies, forming fraternities, forming sororities, forming schools, all of the building blocks that a community needs to thrive. Saying that no matter how bad the times are, we're going to hope that the future is better, and we're going to provide everything that we can to our children to build a legacy of faith, to build a legacy of community, to build a legacy of a solid foundation and solid social